And welcome back to another episode of FTL Guitars with Keith. And joining me today, I have the Metal Maniac, the King of Strings, the GOAT of Glam Rock, the Ubie. Welcome back, Ubie.
Man, every week you stack more onto me that I have to live up to, and it's causing my existential crisis, man. It's your fault that I'm making those other videos. No, I'm kidding. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
All right, thank you for joining us again. And we have special guest, Chris, aka CD Nelson, joining us. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Ubie. I'm just glad to be here.
Glad to be here. Well, I'm really glad that you showed up to the stream. So, thank you everybody who's joined on the stream that's in the chat. I appreciate you guys. And as we all file in, we will go ahead and let's just I want to start with an introduction. Everybody here knows Ubi, the Ubi with his many, many live strings, hardest working man in the business. That's another title that you live up to there, Ubi. The creator of the J Rig. But I want to hear a little bit more about you, Chris. Can you just kind of tell us a little bit more about how you found your way here on the stream?
Oh man, yeah.
Put you on the spot,
Basically,
huh?
yeah. I didn't even think of that. Just starting back in the pandemic, got back into guitars because nobody had anything to do. And then found YouTube, wound my way through a few of the bigger channels when I was looking for stuff on how to learn a few songs. Everybody started with Marty when they're trying to learn something new. Um, and then found different streams, which led me to, I think, Dave over at Six String Stanger and Brian from there, and then this community from there, and the Discord, and just kind of got into things. Um, and then slowly decided, you know what, I want to start doing this too. So between the generosity and just the overall help from this entire community, I was able to uh, figure things out, which is just great at this age to be learning something new every day is cool.
Well, I mean, did you miss the tremendous amounts of peer pressure that everybody was kind of
Peer pressure.
forcing?
I was flat out bullying him. Are you kidding me?
Bully.
Just so you know, this is Ted's interface.
Oh, cool. Ted's on the on the chat. So there you
Nice.
go, Ted. You're seeing your interface right there, the focus right. So oh, not just a box opening. But yeah, welcome aboard, Chris. Now, Chris, I do know is a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, and I've heard a little bit of him play some of his stuff. Pretty good stuff. And not only that, Chris, you one of your first videos that you released was a original song dedicated to your father. So um, if anybody, I think we got some people that are admins in the chat. If you don't mind throwing that link to his music video in there, it's really good. I highly encourage everybody to listen to
Thank
that
you.
if they haven't already. We got people.
Brian's gonna sub, so you got to get your giveaway going.
Okay. All right. So let's just, I did want to go ahead and get this out of the way. So thank you, Brian. And then you could unsub me,
Get that
Brian.
going, and I'll get his video up for you.
All right. So here's the thing. We have a giveaway for hitting the 1,000 sub kind of milestone for my channel for the love of guitars with Keith. And I bought this pedal, not, I bought it for me, but then I quickly realized I didn't really want this pedal because it's a chorus and it doesn't really jive with what I play. However, it is brand new. I've only plugged it in once just to test it out, so it's officially used for whatever tax purpose reasons. I did not put my foot on it. I know some people like to use their fingers on it and they get a little iffy about it. So we're going to go ahead and give this away. I had a drawing, um, and people entered a form. So what I'm going to do is put up this spinny wheel. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be able to hear me when I put it up there, but I'm going to put up the spinny wheel with everybody's name in it that did join a drawing. I'm going to spin it and then I will figure out a way to contact the winner and we'll ship this out to everybody. So let's go ahead and get that guy going. So here
Good
we go.
luck.
Good luck, everybody. And here we go. Oh, BBM. Steve Gunner won it. Oh my goodness.
Congrats, Steve.
Con
Hey, you said it wrong though. It's not Steve Gunner. It's
Right, right.
Steve Gunner.
Steve is the winner. All right. Um,
Just waiting for that
Congratulations.
radio voice to do it.
That is awesome.
Hey, I paid a lot of money for that radio voice.
Steve Gunner. Was it Buffer, or whatever his name is? Um, Before we get into the topic, the main topic of discussion, I just wanted to say two things. One, thank you for everybody that has subscribed and followed me along with this whole journey here. I, I mean, hitting 1,000 subs is it was a lot of hard work, and we could talk more
And you're
YouTube.
already up to
11,
1,100, almost 1,200 subs now.
almost, yeah.
Oh,
And I don't know. I think I hit a chord with a lot of people trying to learn how to decipher Guthrie trap stuff. So I'm just gonna roll on that wave while I can. Justifiably so because I'm just one of the people I want to be able to play like. So, um, and he has a lot of good information. But yeah, that's the first thing I wanted to do. And in accordance with that, I am gonna do one more kind of major announcement. Major.
Uh
So.
oh.
Yeah, this is a major announcement. I am quitting YouTube. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm not quitting. No.
it was either that or an apology video. And
Oh, yeah, I apologize. Here is my major announcement, and there she is. I have a Patreon.
Oh,
I have a Patreon. I'll get links to the Patreon. So basically, I hope everybody can hear me. We have memberships, but I wanted to make I guess anybody could join for nothing, which is the whole point. But we have two tiers. I'm gonna go ahead and put us on I'll drop a link, I guess, um, to it. So I encourage everybody to subscribe. You do not, it's imperative, you do not need to join a tier to pay. It's not 100% necessary. Of course, anything that you do, if you decide to join and at the lowest tier, fine. That just supports me. But the reason I'm doing this is I've been getting a lot of requests for displaying tabs and giving those in PDF format. So I needed a place to host them, and I feel like a lot of people that have uh, channels and content like I do host all their tabs and charts and stuff on the Patreon. So that's going to give everybody the opportunity to um, get those tabs, get those charts in PDF form for free because I'm not going to charge for any of that stuff. Though I have two tiers. One of them is a $3 tier. It's just, hey, you support my work, blah blah blah. The next one is a $5 tier. It's if you want uh, very deep. If you have a question about theory or guitar related things, and you want a detailed answer directly from me, I can go ahead and do that. Kind of like a direct message thing. I'm not up to the point yet where I want to give or I can give lessons, but maybe eventually we'll get there. So that is the next major announcement. And look, we have another bonus announcement. I think. Hold on. Timothy, Baby
no,
Boy
I think I
Mulligan,
beat you, Brian.
BBM hit 100. I think BBM hit
He may
100.
have. He was at 99 the other day.
He's got two now. He says is at 99. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's take a look.
I think I beat you by like a second there, Brian.
Oh, see, look, already if I'm getting paid members, first of all, thank you. Not necessary, but basically a repo for my stuff to give to
Now
everybody.
I'm going to
So
tell you. Actually, what it really is Brian joined twice because I used his credit card to pay for it.
hold on. Oh, did Brandy already subscribed? I might get my wife or my son to subscribe to them when they wake up because my wife she's a nurse. She's got to work tonight, so she's sleeping. And my son's a teenager, so he sleeps until dinner time. That's the way that works. Um,
Yeah, he's at 99 subs. He needs one more.
all right, let's try to get anybody that's in the chat not sub to BBM, which is going to be kind of hard to find, but please subscribe to Timothy Baby Boy Mulligan. Let's get him over that 100 mark. I know that it's a big mark, the 100 mark, the 150 mark, the 500 mark. Those are all huge milestones, and I kind of felt like when I was first starting this whole thing out, I was scrapping one sub at a time, and the way I did that was with YouTube Shorts. And every one sub I got, I felt like it was a win, right? It's just persistence and all that. So that's my recommendation. And dude, it still hurts whenever you see people, whenever you lose people and you lose a sub, even though it's just one person every now and then, it doesn't feel good. And it makes you question
Every
yourself.
now and then.
Oh yeah,
What the hell? What the hell are you doing that you're only losing them every now and then? I literally have been bouncing between 718 and 725 for the past 4 weeks. It's just every day. It's just doing this. Literally somebody's out there doing the worm on my freaking sub channel.
I mean, yeah, look, I mean, Brant says he celebrates every single subscriber. Look, I am the same way. It's like a little minor win because that means you're reaching out to people and you're finding an audience. And to have somebody subscribe to your channel and watch your stuff, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like what you're doing is not pointless, completely pointless, and you're not getting seen or heard. But yeah, every if you lose one, man, it feels bad. It makes you question. For me at least, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Is it because I wear hats? Is it because I have these gold chains on that my mom and dad gave me for Christmas? That's all that represents. What am I bald? Is there people that don't like bald people out there? We're in big trouble if that's the
I'll
case.
tell you.
Yeah,
I'll, I'll tell you what. For me, having it go up and down so much recently in the past couple of days, it's actually made me not worry too much about the losing of subscribers. And I think that's something as you get bigger, you'll need to get a little more comfortable with because it is going to fluctuate more when you have more people on there.
Yeah,
I'm not at any kind of point with that right now. I'm just amazed that there are people out there that want to hear or see anything I do. I enjoy the feedback from the community, so it's just been great that there's been as many people as there are already. And the feedback on the song was just awesome. At least half of that was my family too, but it's it's
it
been a fun
matters.
start.
It matters. I mean, I mean, that's a really good song that you put together there, Chris. So, it warrants re-listening to. So, I mean, you're talking about music, production quality. I think you did a damn fine job there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping to get better at, and I'm hoping to get a little more
Well,
inspiration
Hey,
for
here's your
song.
winner. Your winner's here.
Steve, welcome. You won the guitar pedal. Congratulations, Steve. I'm gonna go grab something real quick.
Oh, we've lost our host. So now it's the Chris and Ubie show.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, he's back. Okay.
All right. I had to grab my Telecaster to kind of transition to the next topic, but look, Steve
Okay.
Gunner has been he's
Oh,
been in the
I know
community
what topic we're
forever.
talking about.
So I'm glad that he won. I mean, anybody that entered the drawing, I'm sorry that you didn't win it, but and anybody I would have been glad. But Steve is a really cool dude. But I brought my Telecaster out here. I see that Ubie has his Telecaster, and we're going to be discussing.
Yeah, we're about discussing. We're about to have a fight. Is what's about to happen.
Okay, we're all tellied out. This is
I think we
we're
have Chet's attention.
we got to get Ted. I mean, next time maybe Ted will be here. Look at these.
Ted's head just exploded. Look at all the tellies.
Look at that.
Yeah, they're wrong. They're terrible.
This is all right. Topic of the day: saddles, Telecaster saddles. Right. So there's a bunch of different options. What do you have there, Chris? Let's start with the
This
with what you have there, Chris.
this is uh, this is the cheapie. This is one of the first things I got after during the pandemic when I got back into this because besides not having any time to do anything, we started watching movies and watched Crossroads again. I'm like, oh, well, now I've got to get a telly, and found this on Rondo Music for I think like $85. It's a Hating, which along the way I found out late. Again, this is over the last 5 years. I've learned so much about different guitars. This was a hit or miss thing. You either got one that was good or not, and I got one of the good ones apparently. Um, this is actually going to be a conversion to barrels down the road because BCG, Chris over at BCG, is sending me. I've still got the other two that are going to have the 6 saddles, so we'll have the best of all worlds, right? But it'll be something for me to do. But yeah, I got inspired by Ralph Macchio's
Crossroads.
Pelly and thought, you know what, I want to get one that looks like that,
So
and it actually plays nice. I
are
did
those saddles?
replace the tuners though.
Can you give me a close up of those saddles?
Yeah,
Okay,
those
so
are
those are
traditional, or not traditional.
traditional.
Those are the moderns.
The
They're
modern.
the modern. Yeah.
So there's a different.
Yeah,
So we
and it's,
have. Oh wow, that's
well,
pretty
I didn't
cool.
even think about that. If that bridge that Chris is sending me isn't string through, then I might have to do something.
I think it might be. Mine doesn't have like that weird
You're
intonation on it. Mine are all straight. Yours are kind of.
yeah, you're fine with that. Mine are straight too on the
His are staggered on the back to kind of account for the
yeah
intonation.
the
I've never seen that before on a telly, at least.
I've seen like
Yeah,
one or two, but very rarely.
Yeah. The holes, the ferrules in the back, Chris, they're kind of like if you
yeah,
take a and here's a tip, like you see that structure there, if you look at saddles on any like for example, I'm not gonna hold it because I'm holding this, but my Strat, they all go um kind of in a certain direction. It kind of goes down from the EAD string and then it starts back the next row just by the nature of the way it's intonated.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of
Yep.
stagger is for a purpose. So if you're ever intonating your guitar and they're up down like a weird kind of graph or whatever, then you're probably doing something wrong with your
Yeah. Like
intonation. Yeah, just like
even this
that.
is staggered exactly the same way that we just described there.
Yeah, exactly, just like
yep.
that. That stagger there. But so he has the modern saddles, and how do you like it? You said you're gonna change it to whatever BCG is sending you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see what I get, and I just thought it'd be kind of neat because I like the look of the saddles, but it always frightened me for intonation. I didn't know how to work with those, so it'll be a fun experiment, I think.
Yeah, and
And if it won't work on this, well, then I got to get another telly, right?
is the yeah, you could talk to Ted. Where does Ted get his tellies? Um, so is it an ashtray bridge that he's sending you to with the sides on it? Like,
I'd have to ask him. I don't know for sure. He said it was. I believe it might be. He did say it was a Fender one. He didn't know if it was a real Fender one or not, but he just had it sitting around his shop and
because I
offered
think
it to me. And I said, "Well,
Snug, aka Snug Drawerson, Snug D, said if you cover it with the ashtray, like that little thing that you put on top, nobody will
The
notice.
actual
Yeah,
top on it.
the
Yeah.
actual top that people use for ashtrays, which I know that P's guitars don't have that like side part on it. But um,
No, it's not a traditional ashtray.
so Ubi, this is gonna get controversial, so let me share mine first, and then I'll let you rip into it.
I'll
Okay?
go last. That way I can be the I can be the angry voice. So you guys
You
go ahead.
all right, so this one, my telly has brass saddles on it, and that's really bright. Um, these are actually compensated brass saddles, so I switched those out myself. This is a Mexican telly, Fender made in Mexico. Put it there, Telecaster, and it had just traditional brass saddles, and yeah, I was having intonation issues. Everything wasn't perfect, but um, that's why I went with the compensated, and that did help. Now I'm able to get a fairly accurate intonation. I feel like just as good as with the modern saddles with that, almost, not quite there. However, I had this conversation with Brant a while ago when he got his Telecaster. I was like, "Welcome to the world of sounding like you suck," because that's what Telecasters do to you. They make you play differently. They're gonna expose all of your weaknesses, all that stuff. You play a telly clean, you have to relearn the guitar almost. Um, and the intonation is part of that. How do you work around that? That country bends, a lot of bending, a lot of this, a lot of that, to kind of work your fingers around it. It's part of the sound. I like it. I enjoy it. But I like to keep things traditional. That's just the way I roll with a lot of these things. Traditional sounding, traditional look. I don't think a Telecaster with modern saddles is a Telecaster. That's my take. Ubi, fight me.
Well, I mean, you have a take. It's wrong take, but it is a take. The truth is the for me, it's not even so much of the sound or anything along those lines, or even the intonation issues. What it has, the intonation issues are maddening with the barrels. But it's not as bad as what I'm just saying there makes it out. It's you can get it close enough in the ballpark that
Hmm.
it's not gonna throw off your sound, especially when you're playing, deeper down the neck. For me, it's a comfort issue because a lot of my playing is chugging, palm muting type stuff,
Hmm.
and the barrel saddles feel just weird, just completely wrong underneath my palm when I got that palm there, because it feels like there's like a bunch of open space under
Yeah.
my hand, which shouldn't be there. So I'm always like, I'm not at the right spot. I'm where the hell is my palm supposed to go? And so for me, that's actually the really only reason why I hate the barrel saddles. Otherwise, you know, obviously these intonate easier, way easier because you have
Yeah.
individual articulation on each string. And then when you get them set right, like these are, they have the proper size screws on them. They don't tear my hand up when I'm playing. But like I said, it's really just for me only the fact that the palm muting just it feels weird. It's almost like when I play the Reaper back there, which is it's a Les Paul style guitar, so it's got that same bridge setup. Um,
It's a comfort thing.
the first one I had, yeah, what exactly? The first one I had that standard Tunematic saddles with the sharp V pieces in them, and that bit into my hand. I hated that. Now this one has a roller saddle on it though, a roller bridge on it, so the saddles are rollers, and it's super comfortable. So it's just like that. Like I would never want to play a Les Paul without the roller saddles. I'd never want to play a Telly without a six saddle setup because of my playstyle. And as somebody in our chat says, it all comes down to player preference, Jack.
Jack
Yeah.
is correct.
Yeah, different style bridges will do that too. I had the fret knot guitar I won was the first thing I ever experienced, the hip shot bridge, which is a different beast altogether too. The way it sits and trying to do palm mutes on that uh, was a learning experience. So that's something. If I do anything on that guitar, I've got to sit with it for a few minutes before I try and actually do anything. Um, but yeah, as far as tellies go, I think that's why I want to do that one because that one is more traditional. Because I don't play anything on it where I'd actually be doing a bunch of palm muting. That's going to be more of a strictly uh, let it ring out kind of thing that'll inspire in me. Uh, the tease definitely lends itself to chugging a little more.
BBM just had maybe the best comment in the year. He says the Telecaster saddle is a hot dog, a sandwich of the guitar community.
That was snug. Um,
Yeah. Oh, it was Snug. Sorry,
um, that's
man. I
okay.
stole Snug's thunder. I apologize,
Is
Snug. I owe you.
no, I mean, I get it. I mean, you equate BBM with dual hamburgers. Sorry to Sorry, I had to do it. Had to do it. Um,
I think he actually got himself in the comments already on that, so
it's funny.
you're
It's
all good.
funny when you get auto corrected from dual humbuckers to dual hamburgers. It turns. I mean, they're both delicious, I guess, in a
I
way.
would rather have dual hamburgers, to be honest.
With cheese. With cheese is what Ted says. With extra cheese and then the packaging wrapped up in blue tape. Uh,
That whole conversation. You want to get one of the creamer hot dog guitars and
Where's
then
my blue
freeze.
tape? I've got blue tape on my desk. Hang on.
yeah, you're right. Is cereal a soup? Right? That whole argument. Look, we need something to argue about. In
We
obviously,
always need something to argue about.
yeah, obvious, yeah, there's plenty of that. Obviously, Ubie has some pretty good opinion. Ha! Yeah,
There it
you know
is.
what? I got mine right here. So
I think we all have one.
everybody's got a ha.
We
Hold
do.
it
We
up.
all have one.
Hold it
Yes.
up. Ubie, all at the same time. We need a
Got
screenshot
to
of
get
There
that.
the
you go.
screenshot
Ted, take a screenshot. I keep
and a
forgetting.
little bonus Tone Jaeger.
If we're doing tone here, I'll see your Tone Yeager and Rage in RJ's cave.
Oh, see, I don't have that yet.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about RJ's cave and in those new what are they the T styles that are coming out from T's.
The SBHE, the new colors from Tees.
Yeah, those are a couple good videos that BBM put out when he actually went down to to the office. What is that, Yonkers or someplace up there? And that was a pretty cool like little thing up there. And if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like Tim is going to be heading up there to help set up some of the guitars. I don't know. That's what I heard him maybe say in one of the streams.
That's what he said in one of his lives. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That would be neat.
yeah, that's a really cool opportunity there. Lord knows, I mean, he's probably going to sell a ton of those guitars. So the more help he can get, the better. Because I think in one of the videos, Torsten was like, "Yeah, you guys are here and doing this is cool, but really I should be setting up these guitars." It's like I feel you.
I yeah, he actually wanted me to swing by, but I'm like, it's a bit of a commute from Iowa to New York.
A little bit of a hike.
I don't know, man. I mean, we talked 2 yards, borrow his private jet and head up there, but I don't know. I mean, let's circle it back here to the bridge thing. Look, when it comes to like a standard Stratocaster, yeah, that is perfectly fine. I want the standard look there, and we could even talk about like headstocks, right? If we're sticking on the subject of tradition and headstocks. A lot of people, and this is myself included, are completely thrown off with the ugly ass headstock that Telecasters come with. I always thought they were ugly. I've come around on it. I've
The little beak,
yeah,
yeah,
you get so used to like what I think is the best looking headstock, a Stratocaster from the late 60s with the gigantic Strat head. That is my number one looking headstock.
nah, nah. Give me an Ibanez headstock any day. I like that pointiness. I like pointy.
Well, there, yeah, you love the very jagged, sharp edge of an Ibanez.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, what were you, the goat of glam rock? So that fits right in there with you. You want your
I mean, my heyday of being a teenager was right in the middle. 85 through 89. So yeah, I mean, it's understandable that that really that. But see, the thing is that's the weird thing because I never really gravitated to like the Charvel headstock, which is a bit more of a kind of a traditional rounded Fender style
Yeah.
inspired headstock. But I always gravitated toward things like the Ibanez headstock or the BC Rich headstock with the especially off the Warlock. I really like that one. The Dean man catcher, the V style one, I
yeah.
like that.
hmm I'm a fan of Dean in general. I own a Dean acoustic guitar, which I don't know if they're known for acoustic guitars, but I thought it looked so badass. Look, the bridge on a Dean acoustic guitar. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen those?
Yeah, those are real cool.
Those are beautiful. Like that. I remember back in the day when there was guitar magazines, I would get the acoustic guitar mag. I think they still make that one, and then Guitar Player and all those. And then in the acoustic one, they would have pictures of Dean guitars, and I would just drool over them. And that was my number one acoustic for a very long time, until I got my Sigma and then my other Martin here. But that Dean
Uh,
headstock is really cool. And no, but like circling back to the Telly headstock, I always thought that they were. Look, I like I said, 100% 180 on it. I love a Telly headstock. I think they're cool now. Whatever. I just equated just like everybody else did. Those are country music guitars, and I don't like country music. Therefore, I don't like Telecasters. That is what everybody goes through. I feel like until they finally come around to it, and once you get your hands on a good Telly, you change your mind because it's the most versatile guitar out there, in my opinion. Way more than a Strat, at least. And arguments could be made, but
yeah, they were just talking in the chat about the Red Dog telly that Jace just built a tribute to. I kind of think tellies are kind of like the Swiss Army knife of guitars at this point.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They literally are the Swiss Army knife. It's the one guitar that's the easiest for you to play any style out there. Does it do any style particularly great other than country? Probably not, but it does an admirable job on any style that you want to do out there.
yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you got all ends of the spectrum. I've seen people in metal bands chug with an electric guitar. Like, there's at least a couple examples of metal bands where they're using tellies because that
Oh, like
bridge
Five.
was who's that?
John 5,
Okay.
the Coke
Yeah,
Yeah,
telly.
John 5 has a telly.
Yeah, exactly, because that bridge pickup is just so hot. And I would imagine that one of those tellies with the hot rails or whatever they are, um, on those T's guitars probably
The
are the
T's
same.
will chug hard. Yes, there's no question about that.
Yeah, and then on the other side of the spectrum, you have this guy named Julian Lodge, or I think it's Lage. He's like brilliant, a very brilliant jazz guitarist, and he uses his telly, just a standard telly, nothing special about it. And I tell you one thing, everybody raves and rants about the bridge pickup on the telly, but I live on that neck pickup on my telly. That is a phenomenal tone in my eyes, and that's where that jazz part comes out.
If you, yeah, it just to go back to the chugging on a telly, I dropped the link in the chat. That's the Munsters Goes Metal. That was done on that Squire by Fender debut Telecaster.
Did you have something to say, Chris, about the neck pickup?
That's mainly what I used for most of the song too on the T's was the neck pickup, and then rolled back the tone for the solo at the front just to get the little more quacky telly country for the solo part in that. But yeah, uh,
Yeah,
I love the neck pickup.
I mean, whenever I first got my telly, excuse me, I got that from Guitar Center in about 2012 or 2011, somewhere around that time. I didn't want the telly, but one of my band members was like, "You should get this. Is what you need to get. It's gonna be good. This is the style." And I was like, "Whatever." And I financed it, just like Brian. It took me forever to pay off, but I did it. Um, Sorry, Brian, I'm calling you out. Uh, so, oh gosh, what was I getting? Oh yeah, the neck pickup. Look, I didn't like the telly. It was too bright, too harsh for me. I never used the tone knob on my Stratocaster. It was always maxed out to 10. But damn if the tone knob makes a difference on a Telecaster. And that's another kind of controversial type of thing here because I know some people don't even use that tone knob or completely cut it out of the circuit. But it's so you could just completely change everything up with just micro adjustments on that tone knob.
Yeah, and I actually didn't do a lot of tone shaping with the tone knob for the longest time myself. I've just now gotten into actually dialing individual parts in on when I'm playing on each guitar, and yeah, for a telly, it does seem to be more responsive than any of the other ones that I own. So it does make the brightest range of difference whenever I'm using the tone knob on the telly as opposed to say the Squire, or not Squire, but the Strat or the Reaper. The Reaper's tones are it's a dual tone, so it's a little bit of a different beast. But yeah, it does affect it does feel like it affects the telly more than the others.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that. When I first started doing stuff as a teen, that was I knobs what were playing music that concerned our parents greatly, so there was no need for a tone knob. It's just loud and
put everything at 10. And like conversely, I see we have a Warheart Arts on the chat here that said they're not into tellies. I feel you. I feel you on that. I am into them now more than ever, but this is my number one, right? Just a standard Stratocaster, right? This is my desert island guitar. And not because it's versatile, not because anything, because the neck pickup on the Strat is my number one tone. We're talking to Jimmy's, we're talking to Stevie's, and then we're talking the Becks and whoever played Stratocasters back in the day. But for me, Jimmy and Stevie, right? That is my desert island guitar number one. And the bridge pickup on a Stratocaster, I would never. I barely use that. It's only good for high distortion stuff from my experience. But um, but the tone knob on my Strat, it doesn't work unless I go almost all the way down to zero. Like it's not as nearly as responsive. I don't know whether that's my Strat in particular or is that the case. I mean, have you ever experienced that, Chris? Or
could be the type of pot that it has on it too, whether
okay,
it's linear or not. I when I replaced all the hardware on the cheap Strat I've got, it made a huge difference to actually have good pots in there. Of course, the one I have was garbage before I did any work on it. It was a guitar from Kohl's that I got off of Facebook Marketplace for
Yeah.
35 bucks. I would like to get a really good traditional Strat someday because that is something I they all I'm not one to talk for guitars because I've been collecting more of them now than I probably should, but they all inspire something a little different. And Strats, yeah, have a different kind of thing on it. That's a song that I'm hoping to try and do something with. Just it really needs a Strat sound, so I've got to get my bench out and do something to get that Strat fixed up because I have it in a place where the pickups work, but the setup is. Eh.
Yeah, I feel
What's a
you.
what's a what's a neck pickup? I don't. This is a term I don't understand. What exactly is a neck pickup?
Show him your Blues Junior. Or not Blues
You
Junior,
you
your Les Paul Junior.
this is the only this is all you need right here. This guy here, especially if it's something like that.
Hmm.
That's a Seymour Duncan Black Winter. That's all you need. You really don't need any others.
Seymour Duncan has freaking phenomenal pickups. That's what on my telly has Seymour Duncans in it, and so does my Diamond um has the pearly gates.
So yeah, the only Strat I've got in working condition now isn't going to do the traditional Strat thing. So
Okay, see now I
that's
might use that neck pickup.
yeah, that's a little out of the ordinary.
Oh man.
That's but that
It had to go there. Look, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I hate HSS. I hate it on a Strat.
HSH, you mean?
H
FSH.
no
HSH is probably worse for you then.
no. I don't like HSS. I don't like. I know his is HSH. I don't like HSS. I hate.
Oh, am I torturing you
Yes,
by showing this to you?
that is wrong. That is completely wrong.
That's the best. That's one of the best possible layouts you can have
Look,
on a Strat.
I already said that I
Now,
barely use the bridge on my Strat, but
I will say this will help a little bit.
well, it's not the tone thing, Ubi. It's the look. Look, my bridge pickup on my Strat is only good for using fuzz and high gain, and that's it. I'm fine with that. I'd rather sacrifice that pickup than to completely mar the look of it by making it a, a humbucker. I hate always.
Guitars look wrong without a humbucker. I don't know what you're talking about.
I have
But by the same
always
time,
had to.
it's a difference. It's the difference in our playing styles though, because I play like even stuff that doesn't need gain, I play with gain on it, and so that buzz makes a massive difference to me.
Yeah,
And so I can seriously tell it. And so if I don't have a humbucker on a guitar I'm playing, even if it's a hot rail like the Tease has, boy, it causes all sorts of problems with how I personally play guitar.
I feel you. Like I don't. I'm not a. I'm a traditionalist, right? It doesn't look right to me, so I'm just not. If I want to play something with a humbucker, I'm gonna bring out my diamond. Which, look, I'm glad I won that thing from Fret Knot. Shout out to Fret Knot because I really needed some humbuckers, but I they just look dumb to me. The fat strats just look dumb to me, and I know it's bad. Probably a lot of people disagree. Look, and I also realize that it fixes all the problems that a Strat has. That's the main problem is that bridge pickup, but I'm willing to take that loss to look cool.
You know what? No harm, no foul. The best guitar for you is the one that inspires you to play.
Or yeah, or
And-
Uh, in For
or
me,
or you just
the
keep
best
fine
guitar
until you
is
find the
not to
one that
have
makes
one.
you good.
what was that, Ubi?
Yeah, for me, the best guitar is not having one because of the way I play. It's just if just somebody go take the guitar out of Ubie's hands, please.
Ain't no sunshine without gain is what Ted tops. All right,
I saw that. I almost laughed at it.
while I'm gonna go ahead and read through some of the comments here, so or kind of acknowledge some folks that are in the comments. So if you have any questions that we could address that you want us to talk about, please leave them as we're going along, and I'm reading these names. So first of all, I want to acknowledge Ted from Ted Talks Guitars, Brian. from Searching from Tone. Brant from Tone Jaeger, naming the channels as well. We have Brandy. What does Ted always say? Brandy! I love his version of that song. Sorry, Brandy. You probably get that way too much.
She hates that song
I
with a
know.
burning passion.
You know what? I don't want to. We got to figure out a different Brandy song. I would hate it too. Probably all she hears. Um, Time Surfing Alien, of course, BBM. Look, BBM, I was on his stream yesterday and I entered him into the contest here for the pedal because he didn't have time and it was just like that close. He almost won it, but Steve got it. Sorry, Tim. Um, oh yeah, Presley California Customs is in the house, which thank you for joining. He is on Charles's uh streams. Is that right?
They co-stream. They both have it on their channel.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Him and Charles, those are good streams. I try to catch those when I can. Sundays. I didn't see
I
it pop up.
rarely get a chance to catch them, but they really are good streams.
Yeah, I freaking love both of those guys' works and Charles with those what are they? They're cloth tops or whatever they're called, fabric top guitars. Did Brian ever finish his? Is Brian? Are you still working on that? Please put it in the chat. I want to see your fabric top guitar project because I could have sworn you started it and we're still waiting on that. I want to see. I want to see. So we had Snug D in here, and got a bunch of other folks. Steve Gunner obviously joined us, and David. Welcome back, David. Guitar Pit of Horrors is in the house,
Hey,
and
Hey,
Bill.
Bill is outstanding. If you don't watch Bill and don't
oh
have,
yeah,
if you haven't subscribed to Bill and haven't gone to Bill's chats, you absolutely have to.
um,
Agreed. If nothing else, show up
absolutely,
for Vinny the cat.
absolutely.
Mama R is awesome too.
Um, Let me go here. Guitar Pit of Horrors. I am not subscribed. Why am I not? Well, I am now, and he's got autoplay on his channel, so I had to stop that. Okay, so Brian says he has 30 projects. Why would I finish one? Okay.
I'm right there with you.
Okay. I mean, what kind of peer pressure do we have here? I mean, what are we gonna do?
I
I
mean,
don't
we've
know.
already stolen the man's credit card and maxed it out. What else can we do to him?
I don't
Well,
know.
at that point, then you've got to work on projects because you can't buy anything new.
I mean, so let's go ahead and talk about the I'm trying to think of this like as far as the Strat here. I'm interested in trims, right? So on the back of this guitar, I got so many freaking springs on here, and I never used that whammy bar
Why do you
usually.
have so many springs on that? The only reason to put 5 on it, I could think, is if you were going to use it to block the trim.
I u-
Back at yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I did it because I saw a picture of Jimi Hendrix playing a guitar with his teeth, and he had five in the back of his, and I just like that looks cool.
I guess if they were really weak springs, though, that would be fine.
I don't know.
But
Look,
like if they're a standard weight spring, man, you're I don't know how you keep the thing intonated and in tune.
I don't either, but it stays in tune. Maybe it's these what are these locking tuners I got there, which were Spurgils or Spurgles? They
Spurzels.
yeah, Spurzels. I don't know.
Wurzels.
Yeah, they're expensive tuners, and I got talked into buying those when I was in college. But yeah, they've worked out pretty well. It stays
No,
in too.
Eddie, that coloration. Listen to give Eddie. Tell Eddie about getting your guitar painted when you were back in the day.
This guy.
Yep.
Well, I don't know what kind of paint. Oil paint. This was in about 2008. I told my buddy to paint my guitar. I gave him a picture of Jimi Hendrix's Flying V that he painted himself with nail polish. I was like, just use it as a reference. And this is what he did. So this is, it has no coat over it. He said, don't put any clear coat, just let it fade by itself. And on the back, there's like a blue train um, that's upside down. He didn't get to finish the back because I wanted my guitar back. So this is my number one. It's a lion, and in the back is a silhouette. That's supposed to be Bob Marley. I didn't want Bob Marley on there. I didn't even ask for the lion. And hey, Ted, this is the Lion of Judah. There you go. That lion head.
Yeah, once you get it up close and we can actually see it, that's actually a really cool lion.
Yeah, he did a really good job with that. It's just the
Yeah,
strat one.
that's really nice.
Whenever I played shows and got on stage, the sound guy was like, they're always like, "Whoa, sweet strat, bro." Of course, that was a Fender Squire that came from a Strat pack in 1998. And man, I pimped the hell out of that guitar. Like with those tuners, I got custom shop 69 pickups in there. I got refretted with stainless steel jumbo frets. I got those what I already said the tuners. I got all the springs that you could ask for. I guess I need to change
If
the
there's ever a spring store shortage, we know where to go.
I think I think if my garage door springs ever like bust, then I'll just take one out of my Strat and throw it up there because the garage doors have those springs on them. Um, but that's a perfect example of a guitar that the sum of its parts is more valuable than the whole because it again it's my dream pretty much guitar. And I think who loves it? Ted is the one that loves the rosewood necks, right? Or he hates the maple. Is that right, Ted?
Ted doesn't hate maple, but he definitely prefers rosewood.
Yeah. So I'm I'm neither here nor there. I grew up with that Strat, and acoustic guitars all have rosewood, so that was always my preference. And then I just pick up a guitar and play it. I say this quite often. I don't put too much thought into it. Just give me a guitar, which is why I
What
wanna
about you, Chris?
yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
Everything I had growing up was rosewood, but when I got the first couple with maple necks on them, I guess I kind of like them all. But the rosewood ones, you need to make sure they're conditioned well, because if they get dry, it feels weird and scratchy to me. But that's something I'm gonna have to do on that LP Junior I just got too, is take that apart and clean it and condition it. But I like them both. I think I've got one with a faux ebony on it. I'd like to play something with a real ebony neck to see what that's like. But I like the maple too. I haven't had a real problem with any of the fretboards. I don't think I've had enough with different size necks to make a difference. I think that would probably feel something. I haven't had a problem with lacquer on the back necks either, but I guess I don't really play fast enough for that to be a
Hmm.
problem.
Ted has a really good insight here that I want to kind of jump on. He said he loves rosewood. He doesn't hate maple, which is good. I mean, hate is a strong word. We shouldn't throw that term around like that. But he says he prefers the look of rosewood. He's kind of referring to the way it looks when you're looking down at the fingerboard, which that does come into play. I mean, just the color of it. If you're used to playing on nothing but rosewood necks, and then you have a lighter color, that I could see how that could throw you off. More so when it comes to like the dots that are on the fretboard and the inlays. Like Ubie's holding up his, is that the Reaper?
Yeah, and the Reaper's got a Jatoba, which is very similar to the Ebony.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got the look of the rosewood from a distance, but it has that feel of maple. Actually, I think I like it. I think that might be my favorite. So I'd love, just like Chris, I'd love to try an actual ebony fretboard.
Yeah, ebony is nice. Very dark and similar. I think the neck on my diamond is it's not ebony, but it's some other fake. It's a fake man-made material, but it's black. I forget what it's called, but it, same difference to me. I think the biggest kind of distinction here that I'm trying to jump on with Ted, like looking at the fretboard, it throws me off looking at those gigantic inlays like what you were throwing up there, Ubi, compared to just the dots, and then you have the dot colors changing whether it's maple versus a rosewood. They're two different colors, and then a lot of like acoustic guitars, for example, my Martin, the inlays that show the dots in the middle of the fretboard, they're so small and they blend in really easy with the actual fretboard that it's hard to see them. And that will throw you off when you're trying to play because, of course, you have the dots on the top of the neck, but the dots on the neck, not when you're looking down, but from the front. If you can't see those, yeah, that'll throw me off. It has, especially when you're playing live and it gets dark. You have no clue where you're at on the fretboard. And I think I don't know which would be better in that situation, a maple or a rosewood, or does it even matter? Or you just play all your shows in
Doesn't
the
make
day.
doesn't make a difference to me either way. I'm always lost on the fretboard, so it doesn't matter if I can see the dots or not.
That
Well,
that fret knot guitar has no side dot markers on the neck, which I didn't realize until I started trying to do something with it for the song and a hat thing when I was trying to use it for the solo at first. And all of a sudden I'd find myself like off by a half tone. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Well, number one, there's no side dots. Number two, when they did the finish on the headstock, they ran it up the back. They put the finish up through the first fret. So that kept my mind kept thinking then, okay, fret two is the first fret. So I'd be, so I think I've got to get some
Right.
side mark.
um, yeah, and I've heard in the past that some people will, I think they have like a nail polish that you could do the side dots and they're kind of like glow in the dark. So that way you could see them a lot easier. Just like a little dab on where you need those markers will help if you're in that situation. I mean, if you're playing live and you want to put some nail polish on your fretboard, then go for it. I'm not going to do that to any of my guitars, um, unless I'm whatever. But I think Brant just brought up a good point here. He says he had a client that traded a maple neck for rosewood for tone differences. Tone differences.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that video on that Fender, um, the the neck that was taken off of it was literally directly matched with the body. The binding made it look like the finish from the body came up the neck,
Yeah.
and it had the hardware up top matched in the whole 9 yards. It looked beautiful. I mean, it looked like a museum
I
piece as
didn't.
far as I'm
We're
concerned.
talking
And the
about
one he changed it to,
that nice Strat that he had. I haven't watched that video
the
yet.
one with the 10-way switch, yeah,
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. It made it almost made me weep from those. Like, oh, you can't do that, but it's player preference, Jack. So,
Yeah.
I
and
mean,
that's a working guitar. That's not a show guitar.
For what it's worth, it's not, I think Brand said he did keep the neck and might may someday put it back together, but just when he's using it for playing and recording, he wanted something that just felt better, which yeah, I get it. But yeah, oh that neck was very nice looking.
yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at this video. Like you said, there's so many good creators on our little community here that it's, man, I just have a hard time catching up with everybody's videos. And look, I feel like I missed Ubie's birthday stream. Ubie, I'm sorry. I missed your birthday stream.
Yeah, it's okay.
I
It
was
was only my
busy.
50th birthday. It's not that big a deal.
I was busy with helping my mom and dad doing stuff. They're elderly and they need help around the house. But I'm serious. I had to cut my, it was 90 degrees. I had to cut my grass and then go right over to their house and do theirs.
Oh,
Um, this is what you won, Steve, if you're still on. If you're not, then I'm sending it to Timothy. So that was a joke, by the way. This is a chorus pedal. I'm not a fan of choruses. It's 280s for me. This is like right up Ubie's alley, but Ubie doesn't use pedals.
No, but I guarantee there's a chorus in my effects loop.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't know, man. It's a difference. Like you had your birthday party. I'm 10 years younger than you, and that is not a huge
That's
difference.
not readable at all, is it? No.
No, well, I can't see it.
The one that just turned green, that's the chorus up there. So
Oh, you
there we
got it
go.
on your phone. It's just amazing that the difference of when you're born to what you like because the stuff you like, Ubi, I don't have that desire to play like Steve Vai. Look, I'm a fan of Crossroads and that's my first introduction to Steve Vai, but I can't,
Same.
it's out of sight. I can't play like that. Don't want to.
It's understandable. I can't play by like Steve Vai. Actually, Vai is not somebody I'm really trying to hit. I don't necessarily want to be a shredder. I just want to have enough shred to be able to shred when it's needed. But mine is more the expressive stuff. Expressive in the '80s style expressive. So things like uh, I don't know, CC DeVille from Poison, or Warren DeMartini from Rat, those sort of stuff, which they have shred parts in them, but they're not pure shred as far as the way they play.
Melodic shredding.
Mm,
Melodic
exactly.
shredding. I don't know. Like I was, got into the whole 90s thing. That's my stuff. Look, when I write music, I think about Oasis a lot, right? I'm so happy that they're gonna tour again. That's my bands. That whatever your bands like that Oasis was my thing um back in the day. And funny enough, like Brant will play a lot of those 90s alternative stuff, or those songs on his channel there, which I think is really cool. Songs that I haven't heard of or thought about in forever, which is like, remember like one, well, I don't think he's played it, but it just reminds me back in the day, like the Wallflowers with like one headlight. Remember that was around everywhere?
Sure.
Yep.
Yep.
Like that era was like my prime. When I first started playing guitar, there was no real like huge guitar heroes out there in that scene because it all went away after everybody got inundated with it in the 80s. Nirvana, I guess they kind
Ted,
of
you
messed it up.
Ted, you still have to either send me the tab or teach me how to play your riff so I can do a metal cover of the Ted riff.
Oh, I know he's playing he's doing the seventh. Then something in there. Hey, there's my cover. Um,
We need
it,
to.
did you hear that?
We did not actually. That did because
Oh,
you since you're not using the big mic, that boom mic's only picking up right next to your face.
yeah. So but we'll get the tabs for that or the chords for that, and then we could
I'll.
all do the metal covers, song and the hats.
I know somebody. I know somebody I can pay to transcribe songs for me. So I just need a clean version of Ted playing it.
Oh, does AI do that?
No, no. Actually, Lester Mitchell, another really good
Oh,
YouTube guitarist. If you pay him a couple bucks, he'll go transcribe any song you want.
Hey, that's a
that's
good
cool.
business
Lester's
model.
great.
That's a very good business model. So we're about to hit that 1 hour mark, so it's time to wrap things up here. So before we wrap things up, I just wanted to acknowledge a couple more people. Eddie Fay joined. Um, that's my couple. I don't know. So before we wrap things,
Birdman popped in too.
did Bert was he new into the chat? Hey, Birdman.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, well, everybody, Warheart Arts popped in as well. So what do we got going on? So Chris, you just put out a video. Do you want to drop? Well, we could drop a link. I'll do that. Talk about your video, and I'll drop a link to your channel.
Sure. Just yeah, the first thing I'm doing with just my channel right now is just again not reinventing the wheel, just walking through my guitars because I want to number one just kind of document them. Number two, growing up, I didn't even the internet wasn't there for guitars, so now I'm finding out more about the stuff that I have in my collection and just kind of putting it out there and also reaching out to the community for help on what I can do with them, especially that thing I put up today. That super stratty thing that is very broken right now. But I'm hoping to do something silly with it. And that speaking of songs, I think would be fun. I do want to do a metal version of the Air Force theme for my son at some point. And I think if I manage to get those super hot pickups in there, that would be excellent for that. Um, but yeah, and then just talking about the guitars that got away because that's what led to that guitar being there. But you know what? I think we've all made questionable choices in our past with guitars.
Yep, I have regrets. I don't think it's super nice. I had an Austin nylon string guitar. I freaking loved it, but for some reason I sold it, and then I made a kind of pact to myself. It was like, you're never gonna send and sell any guitar or get rid of any gear ever again. And I just don't anymore. I keep everything, and it's actually helped me out because the things that I've needed, and I think about it, it's like, hold on, I don't get rid of anything. Let me check because I need it now. And lo and behold, 15 years later, that one thing that I didn't get rid of is in my basement somewhere. So um, always useful. I don't get. I'm never gonna get rid of it. And my wife says you need to get rid of stuff. I'm like, okay, anything but my guitars and my video games and my comic books, because I'm a big nerd, which is the stuff that
That's
takes
the
up the most
triumph of
space.
middle age, finding that one thing that you kept that I know where it is. I need that.
Hmm.
That one thing that I
Exactly.
needed. Well, that's cool, Chris. I'm excited to see more of that stuff, and I do definitely want to see you document if you have it in you to document like upgrading that Strat because I find that kind of stuff very interesting to do there.
That's what I'm hoping for. You're seeing the giant green screen mountain of trash behind me. This area is going to be my workbench once we get things settled, hopefully this fall, so I can start walking through the setups and stuff. Because I, number one, it'll be fun to document. Number two, I have this whole community now to tell me what I'm doing wrong or help me do it
Yeah.
right.
And the cool thing is I think it's always good to throw in original music. Like you already are on the right track there with that wonderful song that you had there. Um, put out more of that stuff, man. We'd love to hear that because it's one thing to
That's
talk
what I'm
about.
hoping for.
Yeah.
I just, it's been being exposed to this community. Number one, gave me the courage to put that out there. I think if I had waited till I got it perfect and didn't, to quote somebody, embrace the suck, I never would have put it out there because I would be like, well, it's that didn't sound right. So I think it's good to do that, and it just, the reaction to it has been great. I really appreciate everybody's feedback on that. That one, I don't think I wrote so much as it just happened. Like I said, I woke up from the dream with it in my head, and for some reason was smart enough to actually get out of bed, write down some of the words I remembered, pick up a guitar, and kind of get the feel for it. I think otherwise it would have been gone. That one kind of used me to write it versus me writing it.
Yeah, see, a lot of those ideas are ephemeral, and if you don't catch them when they're there, then you could risk losing them. So you have to act on it right away. And the thing is, with an artist, a painter, for example, is never going to be satisfied with their painting and ship it out the door unless they have somebody say, "You're done with that, sell it." Because there's always something you need to do. You need to figure out when to stop it. And I have that issue with 2 yards when I collaborate with him. It's not an issue. I just finally got to a point in my head where I'm like, all right, the song's done. I need to stop monkeying around with it and just go ahead and publish it. And then you do it, and then it's over with. No questions asked. I don't need to touch it ever again. It's a good liberating feeling. So it's good that you hit that with it and acted on that ephemeral thing. So, Ubi, so what do you got going on streaming for the rest of your life? Streaming your life.
Well, yeah, I'm up to 19 streams a week, but most important thing that's in my life that's about to happen is if I don't get some grocery stuff down Brandy's neck, I'm going to be in trouble. So I need to get her some food.
Let's do that.
But no, we have a normal streaming schedule Monday night, 8 p.m. Central. Tuesday Tech Talk right before TED stream at 7 p.m. Central, and then Wednesdays and Fridays are the noon streams. And then I'm probably going to start getting back into getting a regular video out on Thursdays. I think that's going to happen.
All right. Yeah, we all love the long form stuff here. So, for the sake of brevity and for the sake of everybody's stomachs and getting groceries, all I have to say is thank you for everybody for joining. This is our 1,000 subscriber giveaway that Steve Gunner won. All I have going on is tomorrow I'll have a premiere that I mistakenly put up today, but I switched it to tomorrow. Sorry, everybody. Um, and that's all I have for the rest of the week. Outside of that, next up for me is Ubi streams on Monday and Ted's Tuesdays and Brian's marathon on Wednesday. So we'll we'll get at all that. So I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me, Chris. Thank you for joining me, Ubi, and thank you
Thanks
for
for having
everybody
me.
in the chat. You have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.